Good morning. Today is Friday, May 24th, 2019.
It is also Asparagus Day, National Escargot Day, International Tiara Day, Scavenger Hunt Day, and National Wig Out Day.
Congratulations to our May and June Students of the Month, who we will celebrate during MA today.
What are you doing on Saturday? Would you like to be doing science? On June 1st, 8th, and 15th, KP students will be traveling on free field trips to exciting places like the Talcott Mountain Science Center and the Museum of Science in Boston. We have a few more seats on the bus if you would like to join us for these day-long events. Please see Mr. Falke for the required permission forms. Free pizza for lunch, great places to visit, and science. What could be better?
The full combined marching band practice will be today from 8:05 through period 2. This practice is only for those band students who will be marching in the Memorial Day Parade. Students must first go to morning advisory in person for attendance, the pledge, words of wisdom, and the reading of the bulletin. Immediately after those MA events, all marching band students should report to the auditorium.
All marching band students participating in the Memorial Day Parade are to report to KP on Monday, May 27th at 8:15 to prepare for the parade and to board the buses for West Hartford Center.
Get your overdue library books back and start your summer with a clear conscience. The last day to check out is next Thursday, and all books are due back next Friday.
Due to the long holiday weekend, there will be no late buses today. What if you and your friends stayed out a little too late just because maybe you lost track of time, or there was something else you wanted to do? This would be going against the age-old legend of La Llorona. She's a tall, thin woman with long black hair, born to the name Maria. You hear screaming wails come from around the corner. Peering over, you find her, La Llorona, the weeping woman. Bolting back to your house with your friend, you take a glance behind you. She has vanished. La Llorona is an old folk tale used to scare children straight and just to get the occasional spook out of friends. This is a tale used in many Latinx cultures. One of the many ways to interpret this myth starts off with Maria, one of, if not the most beautiful in town. She would attract men of all different classes and spend her nights with them, though doing this became difficult as she had 2 sons. Then, one day, she found the 2 boys in a lake after drowning. Some say they drowned through neglect, and others by her own 2 hands. Another theory states that she was a generous and kind woman and married a rich man who showered her with attention and gifts. Although they lived a happy life, once she had their 2 sons, he turned to a life of womanizing and alcohol. He would begin to talk about leaving them to marry a woman of his own class. He would leave for long periods of time, only returning to see his children. Maria was on a walk with her sons, and guess who passed by them in a carriage? Her husband alongside a graceful woman. Upon seeing them, he greeted his children, but left the despondent Maria alone. This caused all the anger to come bubbling back up in Maria, so she drowned her children in the riverbank. She had become extremely morose, realizing what she had done, and tried to save them, but alas, it was too late. Maria went onto the streets with her sorrow, wailing and screaming. She would continue to mourn and search for them and refuse to eat, even after her body seemed to be a walking pile of bones. Finally, she died on the banks of the river. Soon her spirit appeared walking along the bay of the Santa Fe River when evening fell. Children were cautioned not to stay out too late, or La Llorona would snatch them and drown them in the river, as she did to her own children. Though mostly kids would be scared straight with this legend, the stories differ depending on what version you hear. Some say she'll kill anyone who comes into her grasp, women, men, and children alike. Others say she will only attempt to slaughter the latter party. She's a spirit who is said to help family-related conflicts. One of these blood-curdling experiences involved an outspoken boy by the name of Epifanio Garcia. Their family's ranch in Ojo de la Vaca was the setting for many arguments between Epifanio, his brothers Carlos and Agustin, and the boy's parents. One day, after one of the altercations, the brothers decided to leave and head toward the Santa Fe River. They were visited by a tall woman wearing a black bellow and a black net over her face. She sat silently in between the 2 boys who were stationed in the front of the carriage. After Epifanio decided to turn the horses around and head back home, she warned the boys, "I will see you again when you decide to argue with your mother." And with that, she vanished.
Next week's learning lab is Tuesday, Friday.
For lunch today, you will need to choose between rib on a bun or corn dog. We will also have carrot sticks on a pear cup and assorted fresh fruits and vegetables.
Have a good day and learn a lot.